Welcome back to Justice. My next guest is a member of the Israeli Knesset. She's a terrorism expert, a lieutenant colonel, and a world-renowned authority on the motivations of suicide terrorists. Dr. Anat Berko joins me now from Tel Aviv, and I want to thank you, Doctor, for getting up at, what time is it over there?
4:30 a.m.
4 a.m.
Yeah,
well, my
early.
viewers and I thank you. All right, let's get to it. As our president promotes an influx of refugees and says that our vetting process is vigorous, Americans are wondering, do we really know what we're doing? And I want to read some of these questions to you. Number one, the questions that they're asked for the K-1 visa, that's a fiancé visa, is, quote, do you seek to engage in terrorist activities while in the United States? Or have you ever, or do you intend to provide money support to terrorist groups? Now, how do those questions strike you as a way to determine whether or not someone is a terrorist?
I think that those questions are very unsophisticated. You need to look for the biography of those people. You need to find a way not to ask the question when they are next to the counter with fake passport or something like that. You need to know in advance who are those people and where are they coming from. Like this woman who came from Pakistan to Saudi Arabia, which is odd. Perhaps she was alone in patriarchal family. It doesn't look so usual to see a woman, they just got their permission to vote in Saudi Arabia to local election. And we're speaking about this woman moving from here to there by herself. It's very unusual. So you have to know where were the stops of this woman. The place that she prayed, what are the mosques, with whom she interacted. And also in this case, also her fiancé came to Saudi Arabia, as I know, and they came together. So it's something that you need to inquire in and to see in advance before people get inside the country.
Okay, so you're saying it's unusual for a woman to be traveling from Pakistan to Saudi Arabia and back, and that you would look into the schools. And the irony here is that she was at a madrasa, she was at a mosque that are known violent or jihadi type institutions, and that kind of thing was not investigated. But how would you go about questioning or identifying a terrorist? If it's you, what do you do?
From my experience, I look at the background, I look at the family. You know that terrorism, it's a kind of family patterns. You'll find a cousin, a brother, an uncle. Sometimes I interviewed a brother and sister. Both of them were suicide bombers that were very lucky that failed. But you see a pattern in the family, same environment, especially youth, it's subculture. And we see this, as I call it in my books, a duda. It's a worm that digging inside the mind, this ideology, this extremism. We're not speaking about all the Muslims in the world, but definitely we have right now a problem with the Salafi jihadi wave of Islamism that can cause such a damage. And very interesting that sometimes they are not so religious, those people, but they have this influential of hatred from very deep inside, and they legitimize the West, and at the same time they would like to live like in the West after life. This is very, very interesting pattern.
Let me ask you, time is short, do we underestimate our enemy? I mean, we see them as medieval barbarians from the 7th century, but they're using passports and they're getting things over on us. Are we underestimating them?
I think so, because they're looking at the 7th century, Judge Piro, but at the same time with the technology and abilities of the 21st century. And they are very sophisticated. You have a lot of jihad tourists right now in Syria and Iraq, and they have, many languages, digital media, and other things. So we need to know that those people are very, very dangerous, and security is before privacy.
All right, Dr. Anat Berko, thanks so much for getting up and being with us tonight.
Thanks for having me.